supportive of my goals, at least initially. 6 months in, he suggested moving in together to save on rent. We could get a nicer place for less than we're paying separately, he reasoned. You'd reach your house fund goal even faster. The logic was sound, but something held me back. Perhaps it was fear of merging my carefully controlled financial world with someone else's, or worry that my savings discipline would relax with a partner. Whatever the reason, I declined, and Marcus accepted my decision with grace. 3 years into our relationship, the cracks began to show. Marcus started calling my saving habits an obsession. Arguments erupted over declined invitations to friends' destination weddings and my reluctance to spend on experiences he valued. There's more to life than preparing for a future that might never come, he said during our final fight. You're missing everything that's happening right now. The breakup was painful but clarifying. I realized I wasn't willing to compromise on my goal, not even for love. The house represented something beyond physical property. It was tangible proof that people like us could indeed achieve what my father thought impossible. My family's reactions to my career progression were complicated. Mom expressed genuine pride in my professional accomplishments, but seemed increasingly uncomfortable during her infrequent visits to my apartments. This neighborhood is so different from ours, she'd comment, glancing nervously at the young professionals entering the coffee shop below my second apartment. Dad refused to visit at all. Downtown is too fancy for me, he'd say when invited. Too many one-way streets and no place to park. My relationship with my siblings shifted as well. Adam, now working irregularly in construction like Dad called primarily when he needed money. My offers to help with budgeting or job applications were met with defensiveness. Not everyone wants to work themselves to death for some American dream fantasy, he snapped when I suggested a trade certification program. Natalie married young to her high school boyfriend and had 2 children in quick succession. Our conversations revolved around her kids with little interest expressed in my life. When I mentioned my growing house fund after a particularly good quarter with my side business, she changed the subject abruptly. 8 years into my career, I had a revelation during a client meeting. The CEO of a local startup mentioned purchasing her first investment property at 34. The perfect time to build wealth is when you have income, but before you have major family obligations, she said casually. At 32, I realized my timeline could be accelerated. My savings combined with my excellent credit score and steady income from both my primary job and side business put homeownership within reach 2 years earlier than planned. That evening, I contacted a mortgage broker for a preliminary consultation. The meeting with my mortgage broker, James, confirmed what I suspected. 8 years of disciplined saving and career advancement had positioned me well for homeownership. My pre-approval amount exceeded my expectations, though I remained committed to staying below that maximum to maintain financial flexibility. You've done the hard part already, James said, reviewing my impeccable credit report and substantial down payment. Most first-time buyers struggle with the saving phase. You're in an enviable position. His words validated years of sacrifices, all those declined invitations and sparse furnishings in my series of small apartments. The next step was finding a realtor. Through a work connection, I met Kelly, a straight-talking agent specializing in first-time buyers. Our initial conversation set clear parameters: craftsman or colonial-style minimum of 3 bedrooms for family visits and a home office established neighborhood with character and reasonable commute to downtown. I've been visualizing this house for 15 years, I explained to Kelly. I'll know it when I see it, but these are my non-negotiables. The house hunting process proved more emotionally taxing than anticipated. Over 3 months, we viewed 47 properties. Some came close to my vision but had fatal flaws: water damage concealed by fresh paint, outdated electrical systems that would require costly updates, or locations that would add an hour to my daily commute. By property 38, fatigue set in. Maybe I'm being too picky, I told Kelly after leaving a nearly perfect colonial with a compromised foundation. Perhaps I should adjust my expectations. The right house is worth waiting for, Kelly assured me. Especially for someone who's been as patient and purposeful as you have been. Property 42 changed everything. Driving down a tree-lined street in the historic Oakwood district, I spotted it before Kelly even slowed the car. A craftsman bungalow, with a deep front porch, original woodwork, and a red door. My heart raced as we parked. "This looks promising," Kelly said, noting my expression. The interior exceeded my expectations. Original hardwood floors throughout, built-in bookshelves flanking a brick fireplace, a renovated kitchen that respected the home's character while offering modern functionality. Upstairs, 3 bedrooms with angular ceilings and dormer windows created perfect spaces for guests and a home office. Standing in the master bedroom, sunlight streaming through mullioned windows onto wide plank floors, I felt an unexpected wave of emotion. "This is it," I whispered, running my hand along the century-old door frame. "This feels like coming home to a place I've never been before." Kelly nodded, understanding the weight of the moment. "The asking price is at the top of your range, but given the location and condition, it's fair. If you're serious, we should move quickly. Properties in this neighborhood typically receive multiple offers." That night, I barely slept, running numbers and visualizing my furniture in those sunlit rooms. By morning, my decision was made. We submitted an offer at asking price, with a personal letter to the owners, explaining why their house would be the perfect first home for a first-generation homebuyer. Competition was fierce. 3 other offers came in, one above asking price. The waiting period was excruciating. I threw myself into work, trying not to check my phone every 5 minutes for news from Kelly. 3 days later, my offer was accepted. The owners, an older couple downsizing to be closer to grandchildren, had been touched by my letter. They chose my offer despite the higher competing bid, wanting their beloved home to go to someone who would appreciate its character. The loan process brought unexpected complications. My self-employment income from the side business, while substantial, created documentation challenges. The underwriter requested additional verification, extending the closing timeline by 2 weeks. "This is normal for self-employed borrowers," James reassured me. "Your finances are solid. It's just a matter of documenting everything properly." Those 2 weeks felt endless. A competing buyer remained interested, ready to step in if my financing fell through. I submitted tax returns, profit and loss statements, and client contracts, assembling a comprehensive financial portrait to satisfy the underwriter. Finally, approval came through. Closing was scheduled for the following Tuesday. I signed countless documents, initialed dozens of pages, and then received the keys to my first home. The moment felt surreal, the culmination of a journey that began with those Sunday drives through neighborhoods exactly like this one. After the closing, I asked for time alone in the empty house. Walking room to room, I allowed the significance to sink in. In the living room, I sat